Law removes limits to presidential terms. It was proposed by the ruling Communist Party in February. Previously, presidents could only serve for 2 5-year terms. So Xi now becomes the country's first leader to be allowed to rule without fixed terms since China's most famous revolutionary leader, Mao Zedong. Let's speak to Samantha Vardas, who's in Beijing. Samantha, I suppose in a one-party state, you go with what the boss wants.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. I mean, this is hardly surprising. With a room stacked full of delegates who are chosen for their loyalty to the party, there was little chance this wasn't going to get through. Of almost 3,000 delegates, 2 voted no and 3 abstained. And the delegates that we've spoken to this week have been overwhelmingly supportive of this move. They say this is the will of the people, and they say that this is a really good move for China. It means that they can set long-term goals, and long-term leadership is extremely good. Now, of course, what this shows is a move away from what we call collective leadership, and that's something that was brought in by Deng Xiaoping in the 1980s. He introduced this 2-term limit for presidents to avoid any repeat of the chaos of the Maoist years. Now, that's raised a few concerns with activists here. Activists have always been a very hopeful bunch here in China, but this move has certainly faded any hopes with a move towards a more centralised government. Now, speculation that Xi Jinping's wanted to stay in power past 2023 has swirled for years, but a move to actually allow the president to do so has still come as a shock. When this announcement was made 2 weeks ago, it sparked a lot of criticism online and sent Chinese censors into overdrive. Some even drew comparisons to North Korea. And now that's despite the fact that Xi Jinping has actually proven rather popular here in China, and that's thanks in part to his crackdown on corruption. And of course, last year we saw the president get an even tighter grip on power, with Xi Jinping thought enshrined into the constitution, putting him on par with Mao Zedong. He also broke with tradition by not naming an obvious successor. But the party will still have to convince some that this won't mean too much power for Xi.